On August 26, 1988, at Giant Stadium, Michael Jackson stopped his concert mid-song. What happened next left 78,000 fans breathless. Drop a comment below. Where are you watching from, and what time is it right now? Michael Jackson was halfway through Rock With You at Giant Stadium when he heard something that shouldn't exist. A voice from the crowd singing harmony so perfectly it sounded like a professional studio recording. It was August 26, 1988, the final show of his Bad World Tour's American leg. 78,000 fans packed into every seat, but nobody expected the night's most memorable moment would come from the collision between superstar talent and hidden genius. Jennifer Marie Walsh, a 19-year-old music student from Trenton, New Jersey, sat in section 314, row 28, seat 15. About as far from the stage as possible, she'd bought the cheapest ticket available on her part-time record store salary. But Jennifer had one extraordinary gift: perfect pitch and an innate ability to create harmonies. When she heard music, she didn't just hear melody, she heard all the harmonic possibilities, all the ways voices could blend to create something more beautiful than any single voice alone. When Michael began Rock With You, Jennifer felt something unprecedented. Despite being hundreds of feet away, surrounded by 78,000 screaming fans, she could hear Michael's voice with perfect clarity. More than that, she could hear the harmonic space around his voice, the musical territory where another voice could fit perfectly. Without thinking, without planning, Jennifer Walsh began singing harmony. Not just singing along like the crowd, she was creating sophisticated harmonic accompaniment, finding notes that complemented Michael's vocal line in ways that enhanced rather than interfered. Her voice, though she was unaware, was carrying remarkably well in the stadium's acoustics. The combination of her natural projection, the stadium's sound design, and the perfect pitch of her harmonies created something extraordinary. Top. What you're about to hear changes everything you thought you knew about this concert. Michael Jackson was completely in his element when something unprecedented happened. He began hearing perfect harmonic accompaniment that wasn't coming from his backing vocalists. He stopped mid-phrase, tilted his head, listened. At first, Michael thought there was a technical malfunction, but as he continued singing, he realized the harmony was live, spontaneous, and incredibly sophisticated. Michael began scanning the crowd, trying to locate the source. The harmony was so precise, so perfectly timed with his phrasing, that it had to be someone with serious training. That's when he did something that had never happened in his concert career. Michael Jackson stopped singing in the middle of Rock With You and held up his hand for the band to stop. Giant Stadium fell into confused silence as Michael walked to the front of the stage with his microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen," Michael announced, "someone out there has an incredible voice, and I need to find you." The stadium buzzed with excitement and confusion. "I was just performing, and someone was singing harmony that was so beautiful, so perfect, that I have to meet you," Michael continued. "Whoever you are, wherever you're sitting, please stand up and sing a few lines so I can find you." Jennifer Walsh felt her heart stop. There was no way Michael Jackson was talking about her. There were 78,000 people in the stadium, professional backup singers, musicians, industry professionals. "Come on," Michael encouraged. "Don't be shy. Let me hear that beautiful voice again." Jennifer's friends, Kelly Morrison and Amanda Rodriguez, began pushing her to stand up. "Jenny, it's you," Kelly whispered urgently. "You were singing harmony. We heard you, and apparently so did Michael Jackson." "I can't," Jennifer whispered back, paralyzed. "There's no way he heard me from up here." But Michael wasn't giving up. "I know you're out there. You have a gift that needs to be shared. Please sing just a few lines so I can find you." Wait. This single moment changed both their lives forever. The stadium fell silent. Jennifer had seconds to decide: stand up and face 78,000 people, or stay hidden forever. Her heart pounded. Her hands trembled. The choice was now. Finally, encouraged by her friends, and driven by courage she didn't know she possessed. Jennifer Walsh stood up in section 314 and began singing Rock with You all through the night. Jennifer's voice, clear and pure, carried through the stadium. The harmony was so beautiful, so unexpected, that the entire stadium fell into stunned silence. Michael Jackson smiled the biggest smile anyone had ever seen him smile in concert. "There you are," he said. "Ladies and gentlemen, do you hear that? That's one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard." The stadium erupted, but Michael held up his hand for quiet. "What's your name?" he called out. The sound engineers activated the microphone closest to Jennifer's section. "Jennifer Walsh," she replied, her voice amplified throughout the stadium. "Jennifer Walsh," Michael repeated. "Would you like to come down here and finish this song with me? If you're feeling this moment, hit subscribe. You need to see what happens next." What happened next took nearly 20 minutes. Jennifer Walsh, guided by stadium security and cheered on by 78,000 fans, made her way from the upper deck to the stage. Every step felt impossible. Every second stretched. The crowd roared. Her legs shook. No turning back now. They didn't mind the delay. They were witnessing something unprecedented. They began chanting "Jennifer, Jennifer," as she made her way through the stadium. When Jennifer finally reached the stage at 10:14 p.m., she was shaking but glowing with excitement. Michael took her hand and led her to center stage. The roar of 78,000 people was deafening. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jennifer Walsh, who just proved that amazing talent can be found anywhere," Michael announced, his voice full of genuine warmth. What followed was the most beautiful spontaneous duet in concert history. Michael and Jennifer performed Rock with You together, with Jennifer providing harmonies that elevated Michael's already incredible vocal performance to even greater heights. Michael guided her through every moment. His eyes never left hers, giving her silent cues: when to come in, when to hold back, when to let loose. During an instrumental break, he leaned close and whispered words only she could hear. "Just follow my lead. You belong here. This is your moment." As Jennifer relaxed into the performance, something magical happened. Her natural instincts took over. She began adding vocal runs and harmonies that complemented Michael's style perfectly, creating a musical conversation that sounded like they'd rehearsed for months. But this was pure spontaneity, two voices finding each other in real time. A backup singer watching from the wings turned to another vocalist with tears streaming down her face. "That's one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard live," she whispered. The 78,000 fans weren't just watching a performance. They were witnessing the birth of something extraordinary. The moment when a shy college student became an artist in front of the entire world. But the most haunting part was yet to come. In 1988, there was no internet, no social media, no viral videos, but hundreds of fans were recording on camcorders and audio equipment. The moment Michael invited Jennifer on stage, those devices captured something that would be shared and copied for decades. Within weeks, bootleg recordings of the duet were circulating among Michael Jackson fan clubs worldwide. Copies of copies. Dubbed cassettes passed hand to hand across continents. Music industry professionals began seeking copies, amazed by the natural chemistry between the two voices. Radio DJs played audio clips during morning shows, calling it the most beautiful spontaneous duet they'd ever heard. Music journalists started calling Michael's management office, asking about Jennifer Walsh. Record executives wanted to hear more. Jennifer Walsh became famous before YouTube existed to make people famous. After the concert, Michael invited Jennifer and her friends backstage. He spent over an hour talking with her about her musical background, her studies, and her dreams for the future. This wasn't a quick photo op. It was a genuine conversation about art, talent, and the future. That's when Jennifer revealed the full story. She'd been singing since age 4, but never performed outside her family. Painfully shy, she studied music education at Rutgers, with dreams of becoming a choir teacher, where she could share music without being the center of attention. She'd spent countless hours learning every Michael Jackson vocal run, every breath, every subtle inflection, not to perform, but to understand the musicality she loved. "Jennifer," Michael said as the evening was ending, "you have a gift the world needs to hear. Have you ever considered a professional music career?" "I've dreamed about it," Jennifer admitted, her voice quiet, "but I'm too shy for performing, and I don't have the connections or money to break into the industry." Michael smiled, that knowing smile that had graced a million magazine covers. "What if I told you that shyness can be overcome, and that connections and money are problems I can help you solve?" Over the next hour, Michael outlined an offer that would change Jennifer's life forever. He wanted to include her as a featured vocalist on his upcoming album. He would provide professional voice coaching, performance training, and industry mentorship to help her develop a professional career. Jennifer's life changed overnight. She spent the next year working with world-class vocal coaches and performance specialists, developing her stage presence while maintaining the natural, authentic sound that had captured Michael's attention that night. In 1989, Jennifer was featured on 3 tracks of Michael's album, including a stunning duet version of Rock With You that became one of the album's most beloved songs. By 1992, Jennifer had released her own debut album, which went platinum, largely on the strength of her reputation as the girl who sang with Michael Jackson at Giant Stadium. Nobody knew what this night would lead to. Not the record executives watching from VIP boxes, not the bootleg collectors already copying their tapes, and certainly not Jennifer, who was still shaking backstage, unable to believe what had just happened. Michael and Jennifer maintained a close professional and personal relationship for the rest of Michael's life. Jennifer provided backing vocals for several of his later albums and tours, but more importantly, they developed a musical partnership based on genuine respect and shared passion for vocal artistry. "Hold on, this is where everything comes full circle. Michael taught me that talent means nothing if you don't have the courage to share it," Jennifer said in a 2009 interview after Michael's death. "That night at Giant Stadium, he gave me the courage to believe in myself as a performer." Jennifer was one of the featured performers at Michael Jackson's memorial service, where she sang Rock With You as a tribute to the man who had discovered her voice and changed her life. Her performance brought 20,000 mourners to tears. After Michael's death, Jennifer established the Hidden Voices Foundation in 2010, providing scholarships and performance opportunities for talented young singers who lack resources to pursue professional music careers. To date, it has helped launch 47 professional music careers. But what nobody expected was how one foundation would transform an entire industry's approach to discovering talent. Smash that like button if this story moved you, and drop a comment about which part hit you hardest. Today there's a plaque at MetLife Stadium commemorating the night when Michael Jackson proved that amazing talent can be found anywhere. The plaque reads, "In memory of the magic that happens when artists listen to their audiences. August 26, 1988. Every major artist who performs at MetLife Stadium is told the story of that night. Beyoncé mentioned it in a 2015 interview. Before I perform at MetLife, I think about Michael and Jennifer. It reminds me that the audience isn't just listening. They might have something to teach us too." Many artists have incorporated moments of audience interaction into their shows, hoping to create similar magical connections. In 2018, on the 30th anniversary of that transformative night, Jennifer returned to MetLife Stadium for a special concert. She stood on the same stage where Michael had found her and told the story to a new generation. "There's a plaque here that represents more than one night," she said. "It represents a responsibility that every artist has, to recognize talent wherever it exists, to share our platforms with voices that deserve to be heard." She brought 15 of her foundation scholars on stage that night. They performed together, their voices blending in harmonies that would have made Michael smile. The story of Michael Jackson and Jennifer Walsh reminds us that extraordinary talent exists everywhere, often hidden in the most unexpected places. It takes someone with the wisdom and confidence to listen, really listen to recognize and nurture that talent when they encounter it. Michael could have simply acknowledged Jennifer's singing and continued his show. Instead, he chose to stop everything, find her in a crowd of 78,000 people, and create an opportunity that would change her life forever. In doing so, he demonstrated that true artistry isn't just about individual performance. It's about recognizing artistic potential in others and having the generosity to share your platform with them. Jennifer established the Hidden Voices Foundation with one mission: to ensure that no talented young singer ever goes undiscovered because of financial barriers. Michael Jackson found me in a crowd of 78,000 people, Jennifer tells the young singers she mentors. That means there's no crowd too big, no dream too hidden, no voice too quiet to be discovered. You just have to be brave enough to sing. The duet that went viral before the internet existed proved that some moments are so powerful, so beautiful, so genuinely moving, that they don't need technology to spread around the world. They spread through the hearts of everyone who witnesses them. The bootleg recordings from August 26, 1988, still circulate online today. Poor quality video, shaky camera work, muffled audio, but they capture something professional recording could never replicate: the spontaneous creation of magic between two artists who found each other across impossible distance. Music historians consider it one of the most significant moments in concert history, not because of technical perfection, but because it represented the democratization of opportunity, proving that extraordinary artists exist outside traditional industry channels. Jennifer's mother, who worked those double shifts to give her daughter opportunities, was in the audience that night. From section 227, in a 2015 interview, she said, "I always knew Jennifer had a gift, but I never imagined someone like Michael Jackson would recognize it from hundreds of feet away." That night proved that talent will find its way to the surface if someone is brave enough to share it and someone else is wise enough to recognize it. Jennifer still performs today, though less frequently. She splits her time between touring and working hands-on with her foundation scholars. Every student who receives a scholarship gets a personal letter from Jennifer that ends with the same words: "Michael Jackson found me in a crowd of 78,000 people." That means no dream is too hidden, no crowd too large, no voice too quiet to be discovered. You just need courage to sing when the moment calls. The lesson from that night remains timeless. True artistry recognizes artistic potential in others. Michael Jackson could have acknowledged the harmony and moved on. No one would have questioned it. But he stopped everything, found one person among tens of thousands, and shared his platform in a way that permanently changed her life. He showed the world that the greatest artists don't just perform. They listen. They recognize talent in unexpected places, and they use their power to lift others up. Sometimes the most important discoveries happen when we stop performing and start listening. When we look beyond what we expect to find and see what's actually there. When we're brave enough to share our gifts and wise enough to recognize gifts in others, and if we're extraordinarily fortunate, we find voices that make our own music more beautiful than we ever imagined possible. That's exactly what happened on August 26, 1988. When the King of Pop proved that magic doesn't require planning. It requires attention, generosity, and the willingness to let the unexpected become legendary. Share this with someone who has hidden talent that deserves to be recognized. Subscribe for more incredible true stories about the moments when ordinary people become extraordinary through the power of music.